I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome. I'm Bert The Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Magic Square MSB04 Transporter, or a Legends Class Ultra Magnus, and I love this toy. Originally released in 2018, he retailed for approximately $50. I got mine recently from a sale at one of the Transformer pages that I frequent on Facebook. Got a pretty good price for him secondhand. So I have been really having fun with this figure. I didn't know much about it until I got it, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Now, full disclosure, the Autobot stickers that are on him were already on him when I got him. So real quick, let's take a look at the box that he came in. It's that Magic Square box with a little alien dude from that one episode where there was giant aliens and the kid was playing with the Transformers as if they were toys, which was a pretty meta episode back then. You got the product shot of Ultra Magnus right there, or Transporter, in his Transporter mode. MSB04 Transporter. There's a window where you can see the figure packaged in robot mode. On the side, you got a product shot of the figure in his robot mode. Another shot up at the top. Another shot on the other side. Tiny typing on the bottom. And then more product shots of Transporter on the back of the packaging. The figure also comes included with a sheet of instructions, a relatively small sheet of instructions, but it is easy to follow. This is a very, or not a very, but it's a relatively simple figure to transform, which I was very pleasantly surprised with as compared to the Light of Justice figure that actually just completely makes my fingers hurt when I'm trying to transform him. This guy's actually fun to transform. So there you go. There's a sheet of instructions that he came with. He also came with a card. If you're into cards, there you go. That's the card that he comes with. Pretty solid little card. This is like a little thicker than a credit card, I'd say. You can open somebody's door with this. I don't know. And he came with his rifle and his shoulder cannons, which are obviously already mounted on the figure itself. And then finally, the last accessory that he came with is this Matrix of Leadership, which doesn't attach to the figure or the vehicle anywhere. This is literally just for him to hold, for posing, for taking pictures, or anything like that. But other than that, it has absolutely no practical value really with the figure at all. And so here we have Transporter and his Transporter mode, and this guy is tiny. So this was Magic Square's first attempt at this figure. They've actually gone and revisited this one, and they've made this character again, and I think this might be why. So you're going to see this again, or you're going to see this later in robot mode, how he scales with some of the other Magic Square figures, which he scales really, really well. But when it comes to the vehicle mode, he really just kind of shrinks down. Here in vehicle mode, he's approximately 6 inches long. He's about 1 inch tall at the top of the cab right there, 2 inches tall at the top of the trailer here. I guess this is one piece. The truck and the trailer do not come apart, so there is no white prime mode for this. This goes from what you're seeing here all the way into the Ultra Magnus mode. Okay, so it does make him kind of small in vehicle mode. Almost makes him MicroMaster size. To demonstrate, here's Overload, and as you can see, the trailer for Overload is actually just a little bigger. And then the cab, the Ultra Magnus cab is a little bigger than Overload, but Overload's trailer is bigger than Ultra Magnus. So in overall size, it actually makes them about MicroMaster size, which is absolutely nuts, right? So I think that may have been why they went back and revisited this figure later, just so that they can make a vehicle mode that was a little more in scale with something like this. Here is the Light of Justice Prime that we have reviewed here before, and as you can see, yeah, these are supposed to be in the same line, right? And that just doesn't work. So they did revisit this guy, basically used this cab, and then there's another trailer that you can get, that so you do get the white prime mode, and then you would get the trailer that comes apart and turns into armor. That does make the robot, in my opinion, a little bigger than it should be. Robot mode for this guy, I think, scales really, really well with this one right here. Now, Transporter here himself, other than the size, looks absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely love him. He's got He's really nicely detailed. You can see the cab right there. You can even look down and see rivets on him, which is really, really nice. The grille is done in silver. The bumper's done in silver. You got the gray stripe going across the front and the sides of the truck there. Windows done in black. Going all the way back. All the wheels turn on this guy, so he rolls really, really nicely. And then the trailer's done in blue and white. I don't have any of the small Magic Square vehicles to try and put on here. So, like, the doors back here, these doors don't open, you know, backwards. So the doors don't actually open. You can't really, like, use a ramp and load anybody in there. I'm sure you can put little cars up here maybe, but I don't really have anything to try it with unless I tried it with a MicroMaster. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's try that. So, this guy just dropped on me. Let's try him. I haven't even tried this. So, there you go. You can actually carry MicroMasters with this guy, which is actually pretty neat. I don't know if you might be able to squeeze somebody in there. This guy might not be the best candidate for that. Let me finish going around, and then I'll show you what I'm doing right here with these guys, because I thought this was neat what you can do with the missiles right here. So just kind of finishing going all the way around, as you saw. Well, we can put some MicroMasters there. Right here up on the top, that's where his rifle is stored, and then here in the front is where I have his missiles. And what I like about this is that you get the options. I went back and I looked at a bunch of screenshots of Ultra Magnus in G1 when he was in truck mode, and it just seems to go back and forth, right? So here on the box, they had him mounted to the front. So I've got these mounted to the front, and also the G1 toy stored them that way. So that's one way that you can do the missiles, but you can also pull these out. They just slot right there. You got these two tabs, slot right in there. But you also got a peg here on the side, and there's a hole here on this side of the truck. So if you prefer, you can also do this, which is the preferred modern look, I guess I'm going to call it. And again, I went back and looked in G1. It goes back and forth. Sometimes they drew the missiles on the front. Sometimes they drew the missiles on the side. So whichever your preferred mode is, you can do, which I thought was really, really neat. So I think that's about it for the truck. We'll go ahead and set those off to the side. We'll get into transformation, which was surprisingly simple. Fun to do. I really have fun transforming this guy. Not like I said with the Light of Justice one hurts my fingers. This one, not so bad. So I'm going to start here at the top, the top of the transporter part here, which is going to be his arms. These are tabbed in, so you can just pull those out. You can see the tabs right there are in these slots right in there. So I'm just going to pull these out. Am I going to need to move the camera? I might need to move the camera up. And then I'm going to pull this whole thing apart right here and flip these over. And as I'm doing that, that's going to release the weapon right there. Go ahead and flip this down. A little peg right there to hold the weapon, and there is his weapon. We can go ahead and set that off to the side. And I'll go ahead and just transform the entire arm while I'm at it. I'm going kind of out of order from the instructions, but it just makes sense to transform the arm. So flip this around, bring this down like so, and move that up like that. And then you're going to push this down, and then you're going to take this and slide it up. And there you go. There's one arm right there. So same thing on this side. We'll go ahead and flip this over, bring this piece down and around, flip the piece up on the front here, slide it down, take the blue piece and slide it up. That got stuck. That was weird. And there you go. There's his arms pretty much all done right there. Now here on the sides of the truck, this whole side piece here, we're going to take this. It's tabbed in right there. Just go ahead and untab this. And then this is going to collapse on this double hinge like so. And then untab it again. There's a little tab here that's tabbed in the side of the thigh right there. Just bring that out to the side. So again, untab from the front, bring the whole thing down, collapse it on this double hinge, and untab it from the thigh. Take the back of the truck, untab that. Take these little panels right here are going to rotate all the way over. And then you can bring the arm up. There's a tab right there on the knee that's going to go into this slot right here on this panel. And then this whole thing is going to come down and collapse there to fill in the legs. So again, we're going to take the panels right here, rotate these up and over to the inside, Bring the back of the truck up. That tab is going to go into that slot right there. Bring this down to complete the legs. Pretty much all done. That little double hinge right there on the waist collapses just like that. And then we're going to take these pieces and bring them out all the way back. Well, we're not ready for that. We're just going to leave that right there. Let's work on the back of the truck right here. So on the cab itself, I'm just moving this to get it out of the way. This is going to come out. It's got a double hinge, so you're going to kind of bring this all out like so. Just bring the whole thing. The head's in there too. Bring the whole thing down. And the smokestacks are going to collapse in, and then the roof of the truck is also going to collapse in all the way down like that. Then you're going to play with these hinges to give yourself enough clearance to bring the head up and over, just like that. And then the cab's going to come down. You see that little screw piece right there? This was the hitch or the hinge for the truck to turn. We're actually going to slide down on that all the way, and you're going to feel a soft click. And then the front of the cab's going to come down and collapse as well. Yep, yeah, just like that. Now we're going to bring the arms back, and they're going to, this whole panel here is going to rotate. You see how this tab is facing outwards? We're going to rotate this so that the tab is facing in, which is going to bring the shoulders forward, and then this tab is going to go right into the window of the truck. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot something. The wheels of the truck are going to collapse like that. That's going to allow the cab to come in all the way. Look at that, how much cleaner that is. And now that tab is going to fit right in there, just like that. So again, we're going to bring this back, rotate this panel so that the arm comes forward, and we're flipping that tab to the inside, and we're going to tab that right into the window right there. And the last little bit, I forgot this earlier in the transformation, just so that we can make him, give him a steady stance, are these wheels right here. These are going to flip down. Not the whole foot, just the wheels themselves. You can flip these wheels down, rotate them, and then bring them back up again. And what that does is it moves the wheels up and off the ground so that he stands solid. You can leave them down if you want to give him skates, but it's up to you. Part of the transformation is to bring the wheels up, but I guess you can leave the wheels down. If you want to give him skates, make them a little more G1. Bring in his missiles. His missiles are going to peg in right there on the sides of the arms. And here we have our transporter, Ultra Magnus figure in his robot mode. Be standing at approximately 5 inches tall, and yeah, this thing is gorgeous. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. I just had to get this. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. Granted that his vehicle mode's a little small, but this robot mode is absolutely gorgeous. If I can bring it in so you can see the face right there. I don't know how I can do that while still keeping them lit. I do have a little bit of paint scuffing right there on the antennas, but still, he's looking good right there. That face sculpt is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, it's very G1. It's exactly what we saw in the cartoons right there. Again, the Autobot sticker was placed there by the previous owner. I don't mind. The shoulder is actually molded so that you can put a sticker there if you'd like. Right, so he's done mostly in blue with the red chest and, you know, white here and there, just kind of evenly spread out. The sculpt is fantastic. I like how they did these panels on the chest where they almost look like windows. I think that's a really, really neat touch, you know, considering the fact that he is transforming from a flat cab truck. I think that's a really, really neat touch right there. You got the little two silver dots there on the chest. You got the white waist piece right there. All of the details coming down into the legs, going all the way around. He's very, very clean. This is polarizing. This seems to be kind of 50-50. Some people, myself included, don't mind the back of the truck sitting there on his back. I think it makes perfect sense for that to be his back. A lot of people mind it a lot. They hate that look. I get it. It's, you know, it's 50-50. I don't mind it. I think he looks fantastic. Articulation-wise, the head is not on a joint. The head can swivel side to side. The shoulders can go forward and backwards all the way around. They can go in and out. There's a little hinge right there. So as far as the pylons will let you, the arms can go out rotation at the bicep, bend at the elbow, and rotation at the wrist. However, the wrist rotation is hindered by these little blue pieces right there. So the wrist can actually rotate, but the little blue pieces don't let them move all the way around. It's kind of weird. You got a rotation at the waist. Legs are ball jointed, so they can go forward that far, back that far, in and out. Rotation at the thigh, bend at the knee, and you also have ankle tilts. So very nice posable figure. Bringing in his weapon right there. He's all armed up now. And real quick for comparison, here he is with the Light of Justice Prime figure, so that you can see again. I think that these guys scale very, very well together in their robot modes. Again, the vehicle mode, I understand, is very, very small. It doesn't scale well with this guy in vehicle mode. I get it. But in robot mode, I think this is the perfect scale. Magnus was taller than Prime, and this guy's just a little taller than Prime. I think this is a perfect scale. Taking this guy right here, painting him in white, and then putting armor on him when he turns into Magnus, the newer version, makes him, in my opinion, makes him way too big, and it actually gets him out of scale with this guy. And I display my figures in robot mode, so I think this works. I'm very happy with this figure. Again, polarizing, and everybody has a different opinion on that. Some people like the Prime like the white Prime that has a vehicle mode that actually scales well with Light of Justice, and that actually has armor. You know, the transport part of the trailer actually turns into armor. I like that too. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think that I think the robot mode was just way too big, but other people don't think so. So, you know, it's one of those things. You have options. Go with the option that fits you best. And yeah, I got this guy, I thought, for a pretty good deal. I nabbed him up, and I've actually been having a lot of fun with him because I actually enjoy that transformation. That transformation is actually fun for me. Like this guy a lot. And I think that about does it for the Magic Square MS-B04 Transporter, or a Legend Scale Ultra Magnus. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.